Hi, this is Captain Pete Alex, Vision Quest Sport Fishing, and today I'm going to talk to you about how I rig my lead core setups for walleye on Lake Erie. So let's talk about the rod and reel setup. I prefer a 7-foot Telora medium fast action rod. I like the 7-footers because when using these for planer board and they're in these rod holders, we're not constantly looking up at the extra foot or maybe 2 feet. Some guys like 9-foot or 8-foot rods. I prefer 7. I can see them from my vantage point up at the helm. I'm not having to look up in the air looking for the bites. So I love 7-foot rods, plus they stow very easily. The reel is a Shimano Dakota. On Erie, I like to use the 500 LCs. On Ontario, I'll bump my short core lead core rods up to a 600 LC because I need a little more capacity for chasing salmon and trout versus walleyes. Walleye fishing, a 500 LC will get plenty of backing with your 18-pound lead core, and that's all you would need. So let's talk about the meat and potatoes, the actual setup. So we're going to start with an empty reel. In this case, it's a Shimano Dakota 500 line counter. The first step is to install about 400 feet of 30-pound Power Pro Super Braid backing. So the next step in the assembly line is to splice in, using an Albright knot, about 100 to 125 feet of this Gamma Copal High Vis Gold 20-pound line. Why do I like this line? It does a few things for me. One is it enables me to see my lines when I'm deploying them. Once I get to the backing, it allows me to tell anglers to do an up and over under when I'm bringing in multiples fish at the same time. Or if I'm trying to get a line back out in the water and I've got a fish coming in over here, I'm able to see this line as it is being deployed versus the fish that's being brought in over here. So I'm not feeding one line into the angler bringing the fish in. So I avoid uncostly tangles. The other part is planer board releases. I like to use rubber bands when I'm using board line releases, and this copal or a monofilament line is way more forgiving than a super braid in terms of false alarms, having your rubber bands break, etc., etc. So way more forgiving. And then when you're using pinch pad releases, this copal line or monofilament is way more friendly to a pinch pad. It won't slip off like super braid. So once we've got the Gamma Copal backer material on, then I'm going to connect, in this instance, 5 colors of Stealth Core lead core 18-pound material to my Gamma line using the VQ knot. So once I have the lead core line installed and using the VQ knot, I'm going to splice in about 20 or 25 feet of Gamma 14-pound clear copal line. Once I have this Gamma 14-pound line installed, next I'm going to take an inline small spro swivel and I'm going to install about 10 or 12 feet of leader material. In this case, I'm going to use 16-pound Gamma Fluorocarbon leader material connected to the spro, which will end up connected to a snap at the end of my line. Now there's another option. Once you've got your lead core installed on your reel, some anglers prefer to go straight fluorocarbon from the lead core to their snap, which is perfectly fine. In fact, a lot of manufacturers recommend and prefer that because they're going to sell you more fluorocarbon material. So that's an option too. They'll take the lead core, do a VQ knot, and they will install their 25 or 30 feet of preferred fluorocarbon material. In this case, it could be 12, 14, or 16-pound line, which is typically used for Lake Erie walleyes. Guys, I know there seems to be a lot of moving parts and pieces to this whole assembly, but once you've got the hang of it, you've assembled your team, which is right here, including a quality rod and reel. It'll definitely be a system that you'll never regret putting together. It'll last you an entire season, and it'll definitely help you put more walleyes in the boat this coming season. Good luck.